Hey guys, it's a beautiful day in Melbourne today. It feels to be probably about 20 degrees, getting right into the heart of springtime. It's a lovely day to have a bit of a garden tour, so that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to start with my vegetable garden here, and I've got some chooks over there as well as a number of fruit trees, both espalier and in pots and in the ground. So I hope you enjoy it. I have this bed here which is chock-a-block with beautiful everlasting daisies. I've been picking these for a couple of weeks now and hanging them up to dry. I like to pick them when they're around this stage because they open a lot when they're hanging to dry. So if you pick them when they're open on the plant, then they sort of open up too much and go to seed as they're hanging. But they look really, really lovely as a dried display. I've had some snow peas climbing up this trellis and they're kind of sagging now and they've stopped producing. There's still a few old peas on there, but I'm mostly using these as mulch. I have had some feedback on a couple of my videos that I move the camera too quickly and it has been giving people a bit of motion sickness. So I'm going to try my best today to move around a little bit more slowly. I think the instinct is to travel quickly and talk fast. You know, you don't want to be boring, but hopefully you enjoy a slightly slower format today. So this bed also has some rainbow silver beet, which has gone to some of it has gone, it's going to seed, it's bolting. This one still looks really beautiful. This red one, I've got a few green ones over there. And then I believe that's a scabiosa. It's a lilac coloured scabiosa, that one over there. Now, I've got these three beds, 1, 2, 3, where I first planted my first batch of tomato plants. You can see they are getting to be a decent size, some of them even having some tomatoes developing on there. I believe this one is a yellow cherry tomato, but I have about 10 different varieties and I've kind of mixed and matched them all. I've had a few gifted to me, which were Kershaws and Siberian. If you've grown those in the past, let me know how you go with them. It's my first year growing those varieties, but I've also got purple Cherokee, black cherry, black Krim, black Russian, Tigerella, mortgage lifter, Oxheart variety, and a whole lot of different ones. I really love cherry tomatoes though. Tommy Toes and black cherries are probably my most reliable producers. So yeah, these beds seem to be doing really well this year. I've also got some broccolini that's going to seed. This is the same thing in terms of going to seed. We've got some Tuscan kale or cavolo nero, which is really lovely to grow. The bees seem to really like the brassica. You can see there's a little bee over there. They seem to really like the brassica flowers. So I've just kind of let these ones go to flower to hopefully provide a bit of food for the bees in the winter months to get them through to springtime. Here's a bright blue and purple salvia, which I planted as a cutting last year, and it seems to be doing really well. You notice I'm kind of growing quite a lot of stuff in these beds. There's a nasturtium which is self-seeded from some chop and drop mulch I put down. Dill. Yeah, lots of things. If you watch my videos for a little while, you notice a while ago I was lamenting about the quality of the soil in these beds. So I bought it as like a bulk, 5 or 10 square meter or cubic meter delivery from a local nursery, and it was not the best quality. I found it was quite hydrophobic and not the best. So over the last year I've tried to really improve it with a lot of mulch and compost and it's looking, you can see there it clumps up nicely when you squeeze it. It's looking a lot better, at least on this top layer. So yeah, I've been trying to improve the soil quality for quite a while now. It's still lacking somewhat, especially in these two taller raised beds. The water seems to not be retained very well, but I've noticed just recently that there's a lot more worm life in there. I can't find any to show you guys, but when I was planting a few little seedlings earlier, I found quite a few worms. This garlic here, it's looking really, really healthy, and I've planted a few more seedlings in here. You guessed it, we've got more tomatoes. I've got about 10 plants in this 3-meter long bed, as well as some basil, Thai basil, as well as your standard basil. And yeah, in this bed over here we've got some dill, which has these beautiful flowers that form like, they're called umbrels, this shape of flower. It's like an umbrella on the top that insects can come and land on really easily. So I really like dill. I just think it tastes great. It self-seeds really nicely. I don't have to plant it every year. Once it's established, I just shake the seeds around the garden, and the insects seem to really like it. Got some oregano, spring onions. In here I had a lot more of the peas. You can see those peas over there. These were all over this climbing structure, but right now I've just planted some Lebanese cucumbers along the edge here. Oh, it seems some blackbirds have come in and upset some of my seedlings, covered them up, so pesky birds will do that. That's why I sort of try and plant more than I need, because I know some of them won't make it. We've got strawberry plant here, more peas over here. In this bed we've got some more everlastings. You can see I've done quite a lot of cutting of them, so there's not really any lovely flowers to show you because I've been chopping them all off. Down there I've got some rhubarb, which is a bit worse for wear because this is the bed that my 2-year-old really likes to dig in. She's gotten in the habit of digging this when we come out to garden together, finding all the worms, and then wandering over there to give them to the chooks. Hey chooks, chook, 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 chooks. As you can imagine, she's quite popular with the chooks. Down on the ground, here's a creeping bubiella, which is a native, which is a really nice hardy ground cover. And along the back we've got fruit trees. Now I've just thinned out these plums, probably not as much as I should. I was watching Gardening Australia the other day and it said you should thin them out to 2 every 10 centimetres. I'll get rid of that one. And it's a fairly young tree, so I've tried to thin it out a little bit, but it does break your heart somewhat to thin them out. It's a Satsuma blood plum, that one. My chooks over here, they get quite a lot of the weeds and the things that I pull out of the garden. Chooks are just such a great resource in the garden. We'll have a look at our girls, one of whom is very clucky. Hello, miss. Are you sitting on some eggs? No eggs there. Oh, it looks like they've started laying in there, which is a bit of a problem. Sometimes that can happen when you've got a clucky chook. Get down there, girlie. I know. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. Very dramatic. Over here, I've got a French pear, which I'll start to train into an espalier shape. And this beautiful quince tree. If you've watched my last videos, you would have seen the lovely flowers Just gorgeous. And now it's got these lovely fruit on there starting to form. So I'm really excited for it. Underplanted with some seaside daisies. This is a Cara orange. And then this passion fruit, which I've had for a few years now, probably about 4 years. Growing along the fence here, or along the trellis. Soaks up a lot of the hot western facing sun. So it seems to really love that spot. Oh, look at this. Look at that poppy. Isn't that gorgeous? Like I said, I just try and plant flowers and plants sort of everywhere they'll fit. Before I show you the fruit trees, here's my herb bed. Parsley going to seed. Beautiful thyme. And coming back from the dead, my kiwi berry. I built this trellis for it to grow along probably 6 months ago, or a few months ago anyway. And when I got this plant, I was so excited. I've been looking for a kiwi berry everywhere. And then my puppy promptly dug it up several times, chewed up the root ball, chewed off all the stems, and I thought it was done for. But I planted it back in the ground and it's just sprouted this spring. So I'm very excited for it. And you can see I've built this very makeshift fence to try and keep the dog out of the veggie patch. Mint in a pot. Here's a sylvanberry. I'm just looking to find a good spot for it. I will probably plant it along the edge of this chook bed area because it will send out runners and probably try to invade everywhere around it, and the chooks will keep it at bay along one edge at least. But it's got the most beautiful berries. More tomatoes in these beds. And here, my pear trees. Aren't they just gorgeous? This is the first year I'll have fruit from this pear, which is a Doyne de Commerce French pear, pollinated by this nashi, which gave me a couple of golf ball sized fruits last year, but they didn't get much bigger than that before my daughter found them and pulled them off the tree. Here is another quince. This one's a champion quince, whereas the other one is a Smyrna. And lots more flowers in this bed as well. So you can see the nasturtiums over there. I'm eating quite a few of those. They actually have the most beautiful pods that are edible. So let's have a look. Check out this pod. That gives you a good hit of wasabi. So I made like a Japanese salad the other day with some seared tuna. Excuse all the dirt under my nails. This salad had seared tuna, Lebanese cucumber, radish, and then some short grain rice. And I put a few of these nasturtium pods in, and it was really complimentary. It was just the perfect hit of peppery, wasabi-like flavour. Just gorgeous. So I really like to pick and eat these. If you've eaten nasturtiums, you'll know what I mean. These flowers here have a very similar, if milder, flavour, particularly this end of the flower down here. Yeah, they're just beautiful. This one here is a pear tree. Oh, sorry, not a pear tree, a peach tree. It's an Alberta peach. It's got a little bit of curly leaf. I probably didn't spray well enough with the copper spray. It's the only spray I use in this garden. I try and spray twice a year at leaf fall and bud burst, but I probably sprayed the second lot of copper spray a bit too early before bud burst, or before bud swell, I should say, just because we had an optimal day for it and I wasn't sure if I'd get to it. So most of the leaves are okay, but some of them are getting a bit of leaf curl on them, and definitely my nectarine over here is looking a little worse for wear. and it definitely is affected by some leaf curl, and is quite pest ridden with aphids as well, which is a shame because I took out my other nectarine, which was in the spot where the champion quince is, last year because of a bacterial canker. So I might not be able to grow nectarines, which is fine. I'd rather grow things that are healthy and that don't require too much maintenance, but I do love to eat nectarines. This is a Santa Rosa plum, which needs a bit of thinning. It's quite full of fruit at the moment, and I'll come along and thin it probably right after I finish this video. But it is the most beautiful tasting plum. So easy to grow, so easy to train into this espalier plant. Healthy, requires almost no maintenance for pest and disease. I just love it. It's also partially self-fertile, which means that you don't need a pollinator for it. It does benefit from a pollinator apparently, but I've had a lot of fruit from it without having a pollinator. Though the satsuma that I bought that's in that back corner over there near the chook pen is a pollinator for it, and I got that last year, but it didn't have any flowers on it, and we still got a really good amount of fruit from this tree. So if you've only got space for one fruit tree, or if you're looking to espalier a fruit tree, I would really, really recommend this Santa Rosa plum. I just love it. Now onto my tomatoes. I've shown you my tomatoes in my veggie gardens. Oh, we've got some potted citrus here too. This is a Tahitian lime. This one's a Lisbon lemon, and an emperor mandarin as well, which have been really lovely this year. But we've got tomatoes. I've got a bit of an addiction, as you can probably tell, to growing tomatoes and eating them. These are some more that I've grown for family and friends. These are some more that I'm going to put into my veggie garden, some varieties I don't already have in there that I've grown from seed. This one is a Abruzzo Periform tomato, and then I've got some orange cherries as well. So I'm going to have a really good mix of probably, I don't know, maybe 12 different varieties, and then all the rest I'm either giving away or selling. All right, here's the front garden. So I've got quite a lot of native and non-native plants here. How gorgeous is this leucospermum? Like, I just don't know what plant could be more beautiful than this. I really love it. I've got underneath a few of these different creeping boobiella varieties as a bit of a ground cover, which I've taken cuttings from and grown out the back as well. Here's a white Anzac callistemon, which the bees are really enjoying. Some native pigface. I believe this ground cover over here is called a berry saltbush, which I really like, these little red berries. I'm not sure if they're edible. Let me know if they are. I believe the leaves might be, but don't quote me on it. And then the most beautiful silver princess as well, which flowers in winter, and the birds just love it. The red wattlebird and the lorikeet especially. Now back here, I've got an absolute swathe of potato plants. I'm growing 5 different varieties. Binchy, Dutch cream, Carlingford, pink fir apple, and some other variety. More leucodendrons. Some kangaroo paws scattered throughout as well. This plant here is called a cockie's tongue, and every time I see it, I think of my grandpa, because I planted it when he died. He always reminds me of a cheeky bird, so that plant, the cockie's tongue, seems very fitting. Oh, look at this. It always feels so satisfying to pull out a massive, massive weed like that. Ouch. Looks like there's some sort of plant growing from under my neighbour's fence that's quite spiny as well. That is so satisfying. I'll pick that up later. Some lovely banksia here. This is another leucospermum, which is called Tiara, that we planted on top of our old dog Frank, because he was a princess, so he gets a tiara. And this here is probably after or equal to the Santa Rosa plum, my favourite fruit tree. This is a Story's dwarf apricot, and I just love the shape of it. It's this really beautiful vase shape. It is just the most glorious tasting fruit you'll ever have, along with the Santa Rosa. I can't pick a favourite between the two, but they are just gorgeous. This one here is newly planted as well. Earlier this year we lost our dog Annie, who was just gorgeous, and we've planted on top of her a Ichikikijiro dwarf persimmon. So I'm really hoping that will go up to be just as beautiful as the apricot over there, because they're quite gorgeous trees. So that's the front yard. So we've got a few different fruit trees, natives, lots of wildlife, and some potatoes. I hope you've enjoyed this video and the tour of my back and front yard with all of the fruit and vegetables that come along with it. And let me know if you've got any ideas of what you'd like to see next or in the future. If you've got any feedback for me, like I said, the feedback I received about moving around a bit more slowly is hopefully making my videos a bit easier to watch. Happy gardening, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.